polishing off my Coke Zero. All right. You wonderful ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Keeping up with the Christmas days or Advent days.
I have an Advent calendar, man. It's not even Christmas. It's an Advent calendar. It's appropriate. It's at day 13. Okay. And of course, I have the obligatory Santa hat because why not? That's in my newest studio that I continue to evolve. But I'm actually pretty proud of this one. I like it.
Are you and Matt Frad competing on who can create the biggest and baddest new office or studio, whatever he's doing?
No, I'm not in the same league as Matt Frad. So no, we are not.
Everybody's getting a new studio.
It's as much crap as I can cram onto a green screen as possible. It's the same studio.
I forgot. Let me fix my studio real quick.
Yeah, your medicine ball.
Get the ball out of the way.
Yeah. And no, I liked it. It was a nice ambiance. It was a very nice ambiance. But I hope everybody had a wonderful week. We are here. Sorry, I'm trying to polish off this drink. I might have to get the Jocko energy drink that Steve's putting down over there. We could just.
I was falling asleep. An hour and a
hey
half
man,
ago.
I thought the grounding thing was supposed to help you and all that.
I wasn't here. I ended up going to. I went to the gym. Had to do a couple errands for the wife. So I'm in the car most of the day, and then I get back. We go. They wanted to play pickleball, which is old man's tennis, but the kids love it. It's great for the kids.
Yeah.
And then the first time I got back to the desk was about an hour ago, and I was able to just bust out editing a book, get some of the videos together, go say the rosary with the kids. So I've been literally here doing anything for probably half hour in the afternoon. Did a little bit this morning. So if I'm not around it for a while, it's like a battery just starts draining away.
Oh, I know. Today's the one day off. I have a job. I got a part-time job where I work Monday through Thursday, and that's why the show's on Fridays now. And today I'm like, okay, I got my day off. Just back to back stuff I had to catch up on from not being able to do anything during the week. So either way, it's great.
Yeah, Fridays is usually hectic.
Yeah, no, I'm learning that.
And I still need to go down to get the milk. I gotta get up and go down to the farm and get some milk tomorrow. So I need to get to do that.
Nice. Well, it'll be worth it because it's probably that raw stuff, right?
Yeah, it's the real stuff.
It's that raw stuff.
Yeah.
But I hope everybody else is having a wonderful, not less hectic Friday. I'm sure it's hectic because there's one more week before our Lord and Savior arrives. So, of course, people are in the secular world are freaking out and getting things ready and Christmas parties and overindulgence and all these other kinds of things. So I hope you're taking it nice and slow. And thank you for hanging out with us here where the internet happens. And we talk about it. I may have to run down in the middle of the show and open up the Ghost energy drink. Not even kidding.
You're getting stocked up, ready to take some shots in the sky.
Bop, bop, bop. So, yeah, it's been a crazy week. It's been a crazy week. And we did a show last week. So
long time.
It feels like forever, but we are back. And while we were gone, and it's not even like it's been happening for a month, but apparently everybody's freaking out about the drones in New Jersey and the fact that they're flying every night and they're apparently like the size of Cadillacs and they're spraying stuff in the air and all these other kinds of things. Just watch. And that's not the drones, it's the cars.
Yeah, that's the car noise going by. Yeah.
That's a car going by before you get, oh my gosh, they're making sounds. No. And these things are all over X, and these things are all over TikTok, and everybody's losing their minds about it, and it's just, people are ridiculously.
First off, the first drone I heard of was in Florida because they were flying over the Trump's golf course and something else going on down there. And the hero of the week, we didn't get around to it because it happened after we were done. This is one of those I wish I could be, kind of like this dude.
Did a drone fly over your house and you shoot at it? I'm gonna be real blunt with you and ask.
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay, why'd you shoot at it?
Because I thought it was somebody and turn around playing games on my house.
I got you. Where did you see the drone at?
They love me.
What, can you walk out and just kind of show me?
First of all, don't ever talk to the cops without a lawyer present.
Oh, he didn't. He has
Never talk to
Sitting
the
straight
cops
above it?
without a lawyer.
Straight above me.
Do you have any idea about
Hovered, lowered some kind of cord down or something, turned around and sent something back up, and then after it was shot at, it turned around and went north.
Gotcha. Okay. What'd you shoot at it with?
9mm.
Okay.
Oh, man, that's not even a...
All right.
How much trouble am I in?
Quite a bit. You've been honest with me. I'm gonna be honest with you. Quite a bit, actually. So there's a federal charge that goes along with it. There's a felony charge that goes along with it. That's kind of like where we're at.
Okay.
Okay.
What happens and what happens and what?
Well, before we continue this conversation, I'm really just for you being honest. You really just took me off guard. I'm not
What
gonna
am
lie.
what am I going to do? I'm going to lie?
True. All right, sir.
You're going to get a lawyer.
You have the right to
Get a
remain silent.
lawyer.
Anything you say
You're up
will
putting
be.
me under arrest.
I'm
Arresting
just
me?
going to arrange you the Miranda warning just so I can get it out. That way you and I can continue our conversation, okay?
I understand the Miranda warning. I don't have to speak to you unless I want an attorney. Okay?
I got
Yeah,
you. Let me just read you this real quick, and
Go
then
ahead.
we'll go from there, okay? You have the right to remain silent? Go ahead, Serge.
This is ridiculous.
26. I'm already talking to him.
This makes me so mad.
All right, Serge, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to talk to a lawyer and have him or her present with you while you're being questioned. If you cannot afford to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you before any questioning if you wish. If you want to head out underneath it, get out the rain, you can decide at any time to exercise these rights and not answer any questions or make any statements. You understand each of these rights I have explained to you. Having these rights in mind, you wish to talk to us now.
Yes. I
Okay.
understand my rights.
Yeah, I got you. So, it was hovering above your house. It lowered something down.
No, it just hovered above my house.
You said something about the pulley
a
system.
cord or something. It stayed there for about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. And yes, I shot at it. Okay.
I got you.
And the cord went up. It turned because it was facing east
Okay.
because that's east, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was working on my pool equipment.
Oh, you were outside when you noticed it?
I was working on my pool equipment.
Gotcha.
Waved it off and everything. Never left. I went inside, went into the safe, got the weapon, came out, tried to shoot it off again. It didn't move. I fired one round at it.
this
Now
makes
they
me so
say I
mad.
hit it, so I must be a good shot. Or
No.
else it's not that far away. So I'm under all sorts of. They say there's $10,000 worth of damage to the drone and all sorts of stuff. So I'm going to wind up having to find a real good defense lawyer.
Want to cuff you in the front?
Whatever you need to do by protocol.
Well, no, we have, you know,
You've been fine. There's no issues. We're not,
yeah.
Just let me know if it's too tight, all right?
I can't breathe. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Come on, dude. You're 73. No, don't talk. Never talk to a cop without an attorney present.
He
has
has
no
he does
reason.
not
Well,
care.
Obviously, you're that old, but you don't want to spend the rest of your days. This.
If this were on the pardon spree, I think we
Yeah,
could
I don't
pardon. I
think
think
Trump
somebody's
has
gonna be
time
able to
to-
pardon that guy.
That guy's not getting pardoned.
That he ain't gonna. He'll end up being in there for the rest of his life.
Yeah, exactly. But it is actually a federal offense to shoot drones, and I think there's a guy. There's a guy in Jersey right now taking an airsoft gun trying to shoot. And he just posted on Next. He's shooting. It's like, come on, guys. Even though Trump was like, shoot them down. If you find them, shoot them. I don't care. Blow those bastards out of the sky. I think he was talking about the military, but you know, people are going to be like, Trump told me to do it.
People in the South are going, "Where's our drones? We want to shoot something here."
Trump told me I could shoot the thing, so I shot it. So yeah, the fact that there it is right there from our guy. Mystery drone sighted all over the country. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Not me. Joe, he's asleep. That's why they're there. They're asleep. Jill, she doesn't even know it's Christmas. She's saying happy birthday, happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah. And now we have the Independence Day. I watched this film, Independence Day. You should all watch it. It's a play-by-play of what's going to happen here. So let the public know and let them know now. Otherwise, shoot them down. DJT out.
That's the extended tweet.
Well, that's what he was. He can't fit it all in on Truth Social.
I'm glad
so,
we got DJ to read that to us. That was fantastic.
You know, nobody else can. Nobody else can actually afford to get DJT on their show, but
Could
you
you
guys are
imagine?
lucky.
Could you imagine how what's her face had to do after reading, listening to that, and how do I condense that 150 characters?
You're right. Well, Mr. President, yes, I like Independence Day too, but let's just leave that part out. Somebody get me Will Smith. Get him an F-18 and get him in the air. I like you, Will. You can kill them all.
That was the thing. There was some. It was a state representative of Jersey on Glenn Beck's show, and he apparently is a former helicopter pilot. He was all upset going. I guess somebody was up in a chopper and said they saw one that was about 6 feet long or whatever, and they left it. They didn't go in. He goes, "Why did you leave? Why didn't you just follow where we're supposed to go?" And things like that. And you hear people. Well, here you got this stuff right here. Like here's from the other day.
Yeah.
Sabrina, can you tell me what the Pentagon is doing to address this issue of drones?
They misspelled that. It is from the pentagram, not the Pentagon.
Sightings over New Jersey. It's near sensitive installations. The FBI is involved. What is the Pentagon doing?
Sure. So at this time, aware of those drone sightings that have been reported, at this time we have no evidence that these activities are coming from a foreign entity or the work of an adversary. We're going to continue to monitor what is happening, but at no point were our installations threatened when this activity was occurring.
Can you rule out that these are American drones or U.S. military drones?
These are not U.S. military.
I'm about to lie through my teeth to you because we know 100% what these are.
We know exactly who they are.
Military drones. Again, this is being investigated by local law enforcement.
Because that's who I want. If we have international drones, I want the guys from the Newark Police Department trying to write them a citation.
Is that these are not drones or activities coming from a foreign entity or adversary.
Representative Jeff Van Drew, who is a Republican from New Jersey, was just on the air saying that Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones, and that mothership is off the coast of the east coast of the United States. Is there any truth to that?
There is not any truth to that. There is no Iranian ship off the coast of the United States, and there's no so-called mothership.
Lady, let me tell you something. We're doing this, and we're freaking everyone out because this is a trial balloon we're floating out. And the Iranians, you idiots.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
But
don't worry, folks. Just like
we do not know, we don't know.
It's okay, because just like with Donald Trump, you get it nowhere else. We were able here at News from the Pew to actually obtain this is groundbreaking. You are not going to be able to find this anywhere else, folks. This is the actual mothership located off the coast of New Jersey. So it's okay. You can't see it right now because it's at night, but it's off the coast and it's launching these drones out with precision technology. So it's all right. I wish I could have found the Spaceballs one that amount of time, but it's all right, folks. Oh, screw. But the whole thing is just that it's probably Space Force. It's probably Space Force messing around with these drones right now, trying to see what they can do.
Donald Trump, he just called on the Biden administration for you guys to either release any information it has about these mysterious drone sightings or shoot the drones out of the sky. How do you respond to the president-elect?
Well, first of all, the statements I've made already are the principal message that I want to communicate to the American public. We haven't seen anything unusual. We know of no threat. Secondly, we have gone to Congress repeatedly asking for more authority to counter drone activity. And we have also asked for more authority to give to the state and local officials under our supervision, because it correctly notes those authorities need to be expanded.
I want to play.
Not that I don't believe that at all, which I don't, but I heard a lot of, we want more power.
Yeah.
Something exactly. Another New Jersey congressman, Republican Jeff Van Drew, said about the drones over his state in New Jersey. Listen to this.
We're not being told the truth They are dealing with the American public like we're stupid. They don't know what it is. They don't know what it's about. They haven't taken one down to analyze it. They have no idea where it comes from, but they know that it's not that. I mean, that's nonsense. They do not know what they're doing. Why don't they take one of them down, analyze it, and let us know what's really happening?
What do you say to the congressman?
Well, they just handcuffed the only guy that shot one down.
Yeah. That's right. They don't want you to know the truth, man. They don't want you to know the truth, brother.
What was that Gardner in the Independence Day? That's the guy in Florida right now.
That's the crop duster.
Yeah, the crop duster.
First of all, we have experts, and he should not diminish the extent of their expertise and the extent of their dedication to the well-being of the American people. These are individuals who dedicate their careers to the safety and security of the United States of America, number one. Number two, it's not as though anyone can just take down a drone in the sky. That in and of itself would be dangerous.
Do you have the authority to shoot down drones?
Our authorities are very limited. That is precisely why we have gone to Congress to expand those authorities.
Why you have the Air Force.
Our authorities are limited by...
These things are in the air. Why are we talking to DHS? It's like calling a plumber for a rat problem. Where is it is in the air. Get the Air Force.
Well, there's
they have
planes.
Game
going on.
No, let's talk Army
Navy.
Army
Navy's tomorrow. The Navy they're letting the Iranian mothership out at sea because practice is going on right now.
That's right.
And
that's
the Air Force with the Army, so Army's getting ready for the big game too. So everyone, and they're all in Philly getting ready for the game, and they can't do anything about it.
By the way, go Navy, beat Army. But anyway.
You remember the China balloon that we had to wait to get off the coast of South Carolina before we shot the thing, and we wouldn't use a missile for a balloon. Hey, this is kind of like the same thing. They're floating this out there, see how people react. This guy's even trying to ramp up. You know what?
Commander-in-Chief believed, based on the information that he'd been given, that there was a national security threat at play here, or even a public safety threat at play here. He would issue the appropriate directives to not only law enforcement, but perhaps even the military if that was needed. I want to go back to something I said at the top. There has been no evidence of any of this activity in or near restricted spaces.
That's not what the senators said in the letter. They said, in fact, that they've been observed maneuvering their critical infrastructure, sensitive locations, including reservoirs and military installations, and cited a concern from law enforcement about public safety threats because a medevac helicopter was prevented from transporting a seriously injured patient for care because of the presence of these drones.
I stand by my opening statement.
Can you make that make more sense? Because I think people in New York and New Jersey see drones the size of an SUV over their house every night and think that that doesn't make any sense.
Certainly I understand why people would be looking at this and being concerned about it. We're concerned about it too, which is why we have the Department of Homeland Security and the FBI, my goodness, looking at this. And we're taking it seriously. We understand that people are concerned. We understand that they got questions. We got questions too. And we're working hard to get the answers to that. What I can tell you as we sit here today, at 2:16 in the afternoon on the 12th, is we haven't seen any indication thus far that there's a public safety risk, and we haven't seen.
The government know what they are.
We are still investigating this. I can't tell you definitively. I cannot characterize for you definitively.
They haven't made contact with us yet.
Listen, if aliens are going to fly 50 billion light years to come to these United States, they're not very smart if they park off the coast of New Jersey.
Well, somebody made a good observation. It's good that these drones have the right. Was it the FIs? The colored lights. They have the greens on the one side and the reds on the other. They're according to the rubrics of what they need to have for FAA. But
they did their homework.
Yes.
Right. Like if you go to a different country, you got to read up on the laws. When you go to a different planet, you got to make sure you abide by the specific laws of a tiny country or union, on a different planet. You want to make sure you're in compliance.
There's
one of them looks like a helicopter. One of them legitimately looks like a helicopter. One of them looks like a plane, and you people are freaking out because of it.
I think most people have figured out
this is a Streisand effect mass. This is just a mass psychosis Streisand effect.
I think most people understand that there's not a snowball's chance. You know what? That the pentagram and everyone else and him, Kirby, they don't know what's going on. And that lady kind of understood. You're lying to me. Tell us what's going on here. There's airports in that area. You're telling me that they're going to just let these drones fly around where airplanes coming and going around that area when they could go dark, and you're just going to run into a 6-foot, Mustang type drone?
Yeah.
It was an
Well, it
airplane.
would be the first time an airplane hit a Mustang, but that's fine.
Yeah, they go down because of a duck hitting them. You're going to worry about these drones? They're not going to care about these drones. These guys know exactly what's going on. They're just looking, just seeing the reaction of people. Which
they're also, if you notice, they're doing it during this time of year when there's no news and everything's dead. So it gives them an opportunity to test people's actual reactions to them, because everybody's just going out and looking up in the sky, being like, "Oh, look at the drones."
They haven't done that well because they're used to doing this, and they're like, "Oh, what am I doing? I don't know. Can I look up that high?"
It's a government psyop to actually stretch your neck back out. So they got to go through these crazy lengths to try and make sure it works that way. But it's just.
Well, you saw MGT. You sent that to me about MGT saying that there's one of them.
You and MGT, man. If you two ever got into the same room, the conversations you could have, you'd be like, "I'm telling you, right?"
I think more and more people will text me up about it. I start posting on Fedbook about I'll take videos of the sky. Like today, it was painted. It was like, what is today? Friday? Let's see.
Yep.
Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, blue sky. Well, kind of blue. It's still kind of a haze. Blue sky, clear, nothing, cold as anything. Today, same thing. But yet there's checkerboards all over the sky. I mean, it was right in your face today. And there's a front coming into this tomorrow night. Go figure, shocker, and like clockwork. Yeah, you can go to go to betus.com or whatever. Pick date. They're going to put chemtrails out there on. Let's see. There's a front coming in Saturday. It's coming on Thursday and Friday. You'll make You'll make $100 because the odds should be 1-to-1 probably right there. But yeah, man, they are painting the skies here.
We want to make sure you have a white Christmas.
That's one way to do it, and it does mess up the people who have responded by if you see 30 degrees and 60 degrees and back down to 20 degrees, it's screwing up all this stuff when they're putting all these chemicals in the sky. You get that perpetual rainbow that's at the side of the sun the entire day. You see that every so often, but there's no cloud, there's no rain in the sky. How do we get a rainbow? Well, the metals are shining off the sun, so it's literally going down with the sun every time. It's crazy, but no one cares. I'm thinking about getting a bumper sticker. Say, hey, look up. What is that stuff?
Yeah, dude, you're going to cause more traffic accidents than you're going to try and avoid by doing that, but.
But they're not. The drones won't make it down to Dixie because the 1st Redneck Battalion would probably.
It's a federal law to shoot the drone down. That's okay. Pow pow. You can't catch all of us.
you think the people in the mountains would care?
Yeah, right.
There's like maybe that'll get their attention.
It's gonna look like if you watch that show on Apple about the B-29s. They were flying over, and it's going to look like just the anti-aircraft guns. Pop, 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 pop. Hey, we'll be nice. We'll use birdshot, so that way it won't be too bad. We won't use. See, that was that guy's mistake. He probably used like a hollow point, which was A, a very expensive round, and B, not very effective. You need birdshot to take out a drone because you want to get in the propellers and everything, so it drops. The fact that these people are shooting it with a solid load, come on, that's just that would be a Florida thing to do.
Downside to all the drones, if I had this guy in Uber when I was doing Uber, this was about 2017, 2018-ish. He was a big IT guy. He was telling me about all these drones that they were coming out with it. And you've probably seen him on the TED Talks about, remember the one that was about as big as a dragonfly and he shoots it off and it's pretty much an explosive. You see it targeting and has the AI with the facial rec and goes right into the forehead, blows off the head.
So, there was real quick. There was a report out this week that the Chinese actually have birds surveillance, like spy birds.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, oh, all the people that said birds aren't real. Look, the Chinese have the birds that are actually like machines. But okay.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, remember during the lockdowns, what they did? They had drones. Remember England? You saw the clips of the thing going on. They were getting this guy walking alone on some hike. You gotta get off, and they were talking to him through the drone. And how many people the drones that were heat seeking and could be able to figure that out. And yeah, I mean the future of warfare. I think Beck brought it up. It will make the aircraft carrier look like horses in World War One.
Yeah. I mean, we saw a bit of it when Iran sent like 250 of them into Israel because they're like, we'll shoot down a bunch of them, but some are going to get through. And the Chinese are the only ones that can produce drones right now. There is no American company that can make them. Most of the drones people have are the DJI ones or whatever the case may be. They're all Chinese. And the crazy thing is when you're taking those, and they're really nice pictures, that's all topographical maps and stuff. It's all going straight back to China. So, but yeah, if you get 1,000 of those things and you see them in the light shows, everybody's like, oh, look at the thing that looks like a dragon flying around. Yeah, now pretend they all have one block of C4 on them, all 1,000 of them, and they're all coming at you.
It's called Skynet. Yeah, Skynet.
Yep.
They're all coming for you. Yeah. Assassinations thing. You'll never know, and you see it on these TV shows all the time. Which, it was the old joke. If you see it on a show or thing like that, that's old news.
It's 10 years old at least.
Better. That's just the old stuff they're showing you right now. Drones they're used to spy. I mean, the gate. Let me pull that up. I forgot about that one. Since we're on DJ and he may never come back on again. If I keep blasting him for this, but the biometric prism
will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. We will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
You think drones aren't going to be part of that? Elon? I mean, he can get these.
They're used in China right now for tracking systems, like part of their entire currency system.
Yeah, spy patterns, track, and you can digital ID, the whole 5 minutes, 15-minute city thing, CBDC, all that jazz. The drones that put on the hat, the tinfoil hat thing. Hey, remember what they just came out a couple days ago? All those conspiracy wackadoos were right. About the sniffles about 4 years ago. Everything came out. Oh yeah, you guys were right. You guys got crucified for all that, but you were right.
Yep, absolutely, 100%. And you're right. The stuff we're seeing about drones now, that just means that's 10 years in the making. And this is one last exercise, probably by Space Force, maybe by the Air Force, just to kind of see what they can get away with. To see, there's all kinds of things they can be doing right now. So it is what it is, but people are freaking out about it and people are being dumb as usual. But that is what it is.
Good to see there's a fight out there. People shooting up the sky brings me like, all right, good. I see some people a little fight back a little in a sense. It may not be the best idea. Hopefully you're a good shot, but at least there's some kick in some people instead of just, hey, let's video it. Maybe somebody's video them taking it down. Or like I said, there's that great one I tagged you in it about the drone coming and say, we're with the HOA. You can't have that turret, and the turret starts going.
Yeah, yep. That should be mandatory in every home if they're going to start having drones. Give me that. Give me that thing. Of course, they're great though because with those turrets, you can dress them up every year. And like in the Halloween, you can put a little minion costume on it, and then in Christmas time, you can put a little tree on it. And then a snowman in winter, and then in the summertime, you can put like a little beach body, and then football, you can put your favorite football team jersey on it while it's blasting drones out of the sky. It's a market waiting to be tapped. That's all I'm saying.
If this was a free society, the Republic of Republics, as it was brought up to be, then any state could allow that and not have a problem from the powers in DC that shouldn't have any say in any of this.
Yeah, I mean, I have a buddy of mine who sent me a message today. He was like, hey, Rick, what do you think about, the Second Amendment and how it applies to, should there be restrictions, blah, blah, blah. I was like, nope. Because at the time of the founding,
your state could have something, but not from DC.
At the time of the founding, you had privateers and you had members who had all these other kinds of things. So why shouldn't we have it? It's not.
I think Professor Livingston brings up that Switzerland, you can have a howitzer in the front.
Yeah. While we're talking, these are just some of the, when you talk about, when we say drones, you guys are thinking the tiny ones. These are actually some of the military sized drones that are out there. So when they're like, oh, it's like a thing. No, guys, these are actually like, they can be that big.
Imagine an airplane running into that.
Yeah. Right. Because, you know, people don't want to say anything or anything like that. Everybody tends to think of the drones as like those tiny ones that you get at Walmart or whatever, but we're talking about like the military size ones.
Yeah, you connect your spy device to it and get some cool photos.
You can connect what is it? You can connect your Ring camera doorbell to it, and that way it can be complete. It'll all be synchronized when you need it to be.
I told a friend of mine, that I think down the road, we're going to hope for an EMP.
Oh, absolutely.
And because there are going to be drones all over. You hit one of those things, it will fall out of the sky, and it's raining. No, those are metal.
Yeah, you might want to get inside. You might want to get inside real quick. There are ways to make home EMPs. I won't say it because I don't want us to get kicked off.
Yeah,
but
this is for entertainment purposes only.
This is only entertainment purposes, and we will not talk about that. But there are ways if you want to search deep enough. But
look, there was something, I don't know. You might know more than I about those. It wasn't like a ray thing. It was kind of like a box type thing, and it sent out this microwave. If you aimed it at the drone, it would pretty much make it fall to the ground or something, disrupt the service.
Oh, there's those microwave guns that they have in China, where it sends out pretty much a pulse, and it just disrupts and drops them. So they have it. Yeah, sorry, buddy. You got to, hopefully it's under warranty, or you still have the receipt.
Ask Santa, who just got arrested about the other day. Ask Santa for a bigger one.
Santa's going to need his soon enough. It's going to be like on Dasher. The drones are going to be named Dasher, Dancer.
The drones will be the deer.
That's right. Santa's going to upgrade his sleigh from reindeer to drones.
There's some movies out there that Santa's a maniac killer or something like that.
Oh yeah, there's tons of those this time of year. It's awful. Although one of my favorite Christmas movies is Fat Man with Mel Gibson. I
haven't seen that.
There's nothing objectionable about it. It's just like it's a very average story, but it's Mel, so I give it a pass.
I've been trolling Rick for the last couple of days or a week he was putting on Christmas movies, and I've been sending him Gizmo with the Christmas hat and Gremlins, talking about the Christmas movie of Gremlins.
Although Steve did stop when I recommended a Muppet Christmas Carol.
That's a great one.
It's a great one. It's probably a buddy of mine, Chris, recommended it 2 years ago, and I was like, no way. And he said, I kid you not, it is the most faithful adaptation of A Christmas Carol. And it
anything
is.
with the Muppets is good.
Well, the old Muppets, the new Muppets.
Back in those days.
Yeah. But that is that goes, I'll watch that Christmas Eve, and I'll watch that in Die Hard Christmas Eve. And then Christmas Day, I have my Home Alone marathon my wife and I watch.
Yeah, it's 9 days to get thrown off the Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, it's not Christmas until that happens, until that takes place. But we all know that. But it is indeed. Those are my Christmas. And this movie called Just Friends. It's an old movie from like 2008, 2009 with Ryan Reynolds in it. It's a pretty good Christmas. Yeah, my wife and I watched those and a couple other ones. But she'll probably drag me to watch some terrible Christmas movies this weekend. But that's okay because I love my wife, so it's not a big deal. I like just spending time with her. But yes, we watch Muppets Christmas Carol because it's fantastic.
That's why you have VeggieTales, and they have Christmas VeggieTales.
No, I'm good. No VeggieTales. So we're gonna move on. So now once VeggieTales enters the chat, we're out of that one. Let's get to Luigi Mangione.
It's a Luigi.
Huh?
It's a Luigi.
It's a Luigi. And can people stop pretending to be Italian? If you are a white woman in Oklahoma doing a TikTok video and you say Luigi Mangione, you sound like an idiot. Just say Luigi Mangione. Like, emphasizing some of the vowels does not make you sound cultured or intelligent. It makes you sound stupid. So let's just say this loser, this entitled, rich, spoiled kid, Luigi Mangione, last week decided to become a vigilante and take the law into his own hands and murder another person at 6 a.m. in New York in the business district in front of the Hilton. I think it was in Manhattan, which, if for reference sakes, that's the place where Republicans go on election night, where they've gone the last couple of times for Trump for the election results. That's where the Republicans in New York go. So this murder took place. He was on the run for a couple of days until he got found at a McDonald's eating a delicious hash brown.
In Pennsylvania.
In Pennsylvania. And then he got booked. And now there's all of these things that are going on beyond that. So he was found that he was caught. And now the really goes back to the discourse that he started, which is quite dangerous, by the way. And, I've talked to some people that I was surprised to hear. Now the left, they celebrate him because this is pretty much their modern day Robin Hood. This is the embodiment of all the rhetoric they've been pushing out for 10 plus years about how you have to take out the Burger King wouldn't have snitched. And I will tell you, Waffle House would have shot back. Waffle House would have shot back for him. But that's where that is. But Luigi, is this
possibly?
No, absolutely. Waffle House for life, baby. They take care of their own. But the fact of the matter is that he's an attractive guy. That's why the story is still in the press. If he looked like me, the story would have been buried further than the Undertaker after like SummerSlam '98. And secondly, the left loves this discourse because they have been, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez the other day, she said, I think I still have the video where she's talking. Yeah, I have it. We can play it real quick, where she talks about, she essentially excuses his behavior.
Taken from a diagnosis. And I think that this collective American experience, which is
there's a lot of word salad here, though,
twisted to have in the wealthiest nation in the world, all of that pain that people have experienced is being concentrated on this event. And it's really important that we take a step back. This is not to comment, and this is not to say that an act of violence is justified. But I think,
but
for anyone who is confused or shocked or appalled, they need to understand that people interpret and feel and experience denied claims.
We're gonna get there, man. We're
as
gonna
an
get
act
there.
of violence against them. People go homeless over the financial devastation of.
And she blah, blah, blahs for like another 2 minutes about all the talking points you've heard. But you heard her say, not to excuse it, but essentially giving the green light to anybody else who feels they want to do this. In fact, there was a person in Florida who was on the phone with a healthcare company, and she said
we would also be asking for GPS with house arrest conditions to protect the community.
With her head in her hands, Brianna Boston learned she would be held in jail on $100,000 bond. The Polk County judge adding the bond was appropriate given the, quote, status of our country.
It's not like she's a child. She's 42 years old, so we're not dealing with a child here. She should certainly know better.
Lakeland Police Chief Sam Taylor says his department was contacted by the FBI Tuesday. Authorities say in a recorded phone call about a denied insurance claim, Boston told a Blue Cross Blue Shield employee, quote, delay, deny, depose. You people are next, end quote. The language matches the words police say were written on the shell casings found at the United Healthcare CEO's murder scene in New York City.
We will take this very seriously, and we will put you in jail if you do something like this. It is not a joke.
According to Boston's affidavit, the mother of three told police she did not own firearms and was not a danger to anyone. But she added, healthcare companies played games and deserved karma because they are evil. Similar to the accused shooter in Manhattan, Boston is getting support online from people who say that she was just sharing her opinion and should be protected by the First Amendment, but police do not see it that way. She's facing a second-degree felony of written threat to kill or injure, conduct a mass shooting, or an act of terrorism, a serious charge that she could end up in prison for.
How about the BLM guys?
Yeah.
I mean, son of a gun, the BLM, they're on TV going pretty much beat up and kill whiteies.
Mm-hmm.
Where's that charge?
After we didn't cover it, but Daniel Penny was found not guilty on all counts, which was a great feat for him because we didn't think that was going to happen that way. But yeah, BLM, I know we'll just bring that up. They came back out and they showed back up after 4 years, man. They were in their 4-year hibernation.
Jordan Neely! What's his name? Jordan Neely!
Yeah, they've been on hibernation with Code Pink for the last few years.
You know, none of these people were around when Jordan Neely was homeless, when he was addicted to drugs, when he was any of this stuff. But now that it's politically expedient for them to exploit his death, much like his dad, now they all come out of the work. Guess what? Spare me. All of you. Just spare me your nonsense. I don't even want to hear it in that regard. But let's get back, folks, the healthcare debate. And if you think, and I'm going to go right into the danger zone and upset y'all. If you think what Luigi Mangione did, and if you can even relate to it, I think you're kind of a dumb person. And the reason is, the reason the healthcare system is screwed up is because the government has its tentacles in it to screw it up. Because coding is so difficult, because there's no way for you to walk into a hospital and see the prices of things. You have to have extra people hired to code different procedures, all of this stuff. Oh, this person got denied. You know why that got denied? Because you have to have so much health care tied to a job or tied to this because of the ACA, because of Obamacare. The government's involvement has led to the inefficiency of the healthcare system. So did this CEO, who I guarantee you probably didn't deny these people their claims, did he deserve to get gunned down in the street? Seriously, think of that. Well, I can relate. You can relate to taking the life of somebody else? You can relate to that? I think if anybody, and I've had fellow, Catholic men that I've talked to feel that way. And it's like, I'm trying not to be mean, but I think you're kind of stupid if you can relate to it. We've all had this problem, guys. We've all had issues with the medical industry, but that never, are we not Catholics? Is vengeance not mine, saith the Lord? Did you all forget that at any point? Or are you just, me, jealous, whatever the case may be? Does it suck? Yes, absolutely. But guess what? You can opt out of it and go to the shared systems. You don't have to have, you can go to the healthcare sharing systems. I know some people that are a part of that, and they take care of all that kind of stuff. You don't have to pay for health insurance. And unfortunately, if you think health insurance is so bad, go to a third world country, go to somewhere else and see how bad it is. But the Daniel Penny was a spoiled brat who took the life of somebody else because he didn't get everything he wanted.
You brought up Penny as the Luigi, you're thinking.
I did.
Hey.
Are we?
No, you called Daniel the spoiled brat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Luigi.
Yeah, Luigi.
Yeah. There's Sumerian Ministries. There's a bunch of other ones out there.
Yeah, I'm on
those health sharing systems that you can be a part of. So you can either bitch about the system you're in, or you can take matters into your own hands and find a solution to the problem. So it's that simple. And besides, it's I think the reaction on the left, I get it. I clearly get it. But on the right, the fact that people on the right agree with it is just nuts. Is just absolutely nuts in this regard.
Yeah, it's almost like both stories. There's no real winners in a sense. I mean, the penny one. There was the reports come out, like there was an NBC article talked about it, saying that he thought that he was going to do something, and he wasn't sure, but they still acted anyways. In a situation like that, I get that what he was trying to do and all that, but unless they act, I don't know about the takedown thing. It's kind of like, are we aggressive? Are we the first one to go it, or are you one of those that, well, they better swing first and then we take it down type deal thing? So, and not saying throw him in the chair or anything like this. I'm just saying, that's a slippery slope as well, just like everything else. Do we have anybody that's going into the subway anymore and going, we see this guy, about to lose it? I was in the subway before, and I remember back in, it was the last week of Yankee Stadium, and we were on the train, and I jokingly told my bud who's with us, this is what Rocker was talking about. There was a crackhead, and they're just losing their minds. And all three of us were just watching, just like, all right, what is this one going to do? And we were all probably all three. We weren't looking at each other. We're thinking, all right, one of us is going to end up doing something if something happens. Now, we weren't going to go tackle the guy. So because there's another video of a guy going up and down. I mean, there's weirdos all over. Hopefully this doesn't go to copycat that way. I'm not trying to say Daniel's a horrible person or anything like that. It's just a weird, complicated story, and I don't think there's winners on either side. With this, I was an assistant in medical sales rep for years, and so I saw the money that was being made. I didn't get any of it really. I got $50K for a year when my guy who I was working under was making $300K, and the guy in the Raleigh Triangle was making $500K. So I saw the potential, and I was working my butt off to get there. And I just made that off bracing, I got $150 every time I put a brace on a human being, which was half of what the payout from the insurance company was. Let's say like if I got 100, the payout was really 200. So my boss gave it 50-50, or if it was 300, it was, depending on the brace, was a higher code. And so we would get these messages from HSS all the time saying, take this brace off. We're not deeming it necessary anymore. And I asked them one time, it was up in Asheville at the orthopedic, the hand group up in Asheville, North Carolina. So what does this mean? He goes, well, if they take over, we'll all have a job because nothing's going to get in. And we had a cash pay, and we had a cash pay sheet and an insurance pay, just like Rick was saying. But the people didn't see that.
Yeah,
you have to know to ask for that, because the doc's not going to ask. How many people have ever gone to a doc and the doc goes, well, what do you eat? That never happens. It's always, here, take these pills. It's not change your diet, change your lifestyle, changing. It's what's wrong with you. Here's some pills. Here's some drugs. Here's Big Pharma for you. So, I mean, there was like a wrist brace, just a wrist brace like that was $109 insurance with the L code. Add a thumb for that, and it was like $140. And obviously went up and up. January comes around, you get the end of deductibles. No one has it. No one's met it. So I hated January, because January, February, March, no one's close to them. Anybody's got Obamacare right now, that's what we have. I mean, not we as me, that's what everyone has right now is Obamacare in a sense. Oh, you get these discounts and all that. Oh, they might cost you $16, $15, $2,100, $2,000 a month with a deductible of what? $1,800, $3,500, whatever it is. So an osteoarthritis brace would probably cost $1,700 back in late 2010s, the double aughts, all that. That was about $1,600 to $1,800 with insurance for an osteoarthritis, or an ACL brace was really about the same thing. So you see the football teams, they have the O-line those are ACL braces. And the osteoarthritis brace would push the bone over, and had a little dial on the end, and would push it over. And probably 50% of the patients couldn't pay for it, because they had to pay full price because they didn't have the deductible. And these people needed it just to walk without pain. Again,
I have one. I have an ACL brace because I don't have an ACL on my left knee. So I get it.
Well, osteoarthritis, it's bone on bone. So this thing would just push the bone off, so the pain relieves the pain when you stand up. Or we're just constant push against side. So we would deal in, okay, here's the cash price. We can get you one off the shelf. And if you send us a check, I'll get you one. I'll order one for you, and we'll ship it to me, and I'll go up and brace it for it. And I would make absolutely $0 off that, because insurance didn't get anything, so we'd have to pay it out of our own pocket. That was January, March. Hated that. It made me despise the insurance companies because of just stuff like that. But also, who, as you brought up, who runs government? The Medicare. Medicare dictated the L codes. If you didn't want the L code in it, Medicare would send, HSS would send down the letter. They would dictate to all the insurance companies. They had to play ball with that. And then you can't go across state lines. Tennessee, Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, Blue Cross Blue Shield of South Carolina. They're all different. One's better than the other. We would get Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, and then we get another patient that Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina going, crap, I wish we had to add the Tennessee guy, because that would work better. As crazy as that sounds, same company, different group. And then some states might have 2 insurance companies. One might have 5. One might have 9. one might have one. And so it was the insurance companies must fall in line with what he says. And that's UHS or UHC was the number one health insurance company of Obamacare since it came out. And there's been all kinds of weird things with them the last couple of years. You had this. UHC ACO faces backlash over leaked video defense stopping unnecessary care. United Healthcare CEO shooting erupts of volcanic anger towards health insurance agencies. That was a different one. I wasn't. There was this one, and there was something else that went on with it. So, do you remember the movie with Denzel? Many movies.
Yes, I do.
He's the dad. That
Ordinary John Doe. It was John Doe.
John Doe. Yes, and you see that in many different TV shows will have this. The people don't have health insurance, they get denied coverage, and the dad freaks out. They end up doing something crazy because the kid's dying from cancer or whatever, and he pulls a gun, hijacks the hospital so that they can get care of there. And they say, well, they denied us, and we were just needing something. On one side, you're going, you know what? How many people that the health insurance companies kill? On the other side, obviously, you don't go out and kill people on your own. So it's a no-win on either side. That poor lady in Florida got denied. She got mad and said something to the Blue Cross Blue Shield people. Did it say who it was for? The insurance for was it probably family?
I don't know who it was, but 3 months ago, it would have just been an angry note in her file, and they would have just hung up.
Yeah,
and that's
I guarantee that happens all the time.
All the time. So. But that's the problem. Folks, everybody should be mad at the healthcare industry, and ergo should be mad at the government for its involvement in it. The more they get involved, that's where the denials comes. Because if you had, like, people are putting in our comment section how much they were paying and they were getting denied. That sucks. That's absolutely terrible. Nobody's here saying, well, the healthcare company is right. But the healthcare company is in that position because government has decided that they are going to regulate. So for all you socialist fans out there, you want to see what a regulated market looks like, that's healthcare. And you know what? The idiots who want more regulation into healthcare don't realize that the reason why it sucks is because of the regulation that is already being put on it. Like you made a point. It should be, insurance should literally be like my car insurance. My car insurance is not, I can call up. You should be able to call up, hey, Arkansas has really good insurance, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I'd like to get coverage through your Arkansas healthcare plan. Yeah, no worries. We got you. Don't worry. Blah, blah, blah. Done. 15 minutes. What's your name? Blah, 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 and it's taken care of. But no, everything's got to be regimented into tier plans, and you have to have this much, or depending on this, and you're subsidizing this, and you're doing all of that because the government has told you to. And that's my biggest thing is everybody's mad at the healthcare company. Yes, they're terrible.
I'm sure they're in on it too.
Oh, they're probably lobbying the heck out of the government to do it
this way. Because during Obamacare days, they were talking about you got to get rid of this. You got to get so states you can buy across state borders and tort reform. Because that was the whole thing. I mean, why have a federal government in charge of it if you're not allowing across the state borders? That's the only thing that people say, well, this is a federal issue. Well, you can't even cross state borders with your insurance. But again, this goes back to that. Yeah, we're not talking the CEOs, terrible. Hey, the healthcare industry in general, terrible.
Awful.
You're getting cheaper prices with Obamacare right now because it's subsidized, and you get some crazy deals. And if you go on there to what is it? I can't healthgov.org.
I think it's healthcare.gov or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Obamacare, and Trump said we'd get rid of it. He hasn't got rid of it. The Supreme Court
get rid of it because
we can't wait to get the Supreme Court to judge on something.
Well, they didn't get rid of it because McCain voted it down. Saint McCain was the vote, and he voted it down because he hated Trump and he didn't want Trump to get that. So your politics continues to mess with your life.
Yeah, but secede from the health insurance groups, because when they say when they talk about healthcare in the debates, it's health insurance. People get healthcare. You go to any hospital, you'll get healthcare. They'll send you a bill or something. You're going to get the care. If you don't have insurance, totally different thing. But go to Samaritans, 100% covered, 100% wherever you want to go. You're in network wherever you want to go. Again, goes to health insurance. If you're in one group, You see that in Dr. House. They're in network with this one group, and if you lose it, you're going to lose all these customers because
when she was
insurance they have.
Yep, when she was renegotiating. Yep.
It's all that money. And then so if you're not in network, you could be down the street from a hospital or a great place right there for whatever reason you need. But if you're not in network, you got to go to Rumpy Dump.
You got to go to the downtown one that nobody wants to go to. They're treating bullet wounds.
You got to find out who you're in network in it. Because if you accident, I have a heart attack going, I got to get somewhere quick. Are you literally going, where am I in network at? Don't send me there because that's a $9,000 bill versus a $400 bill.
Yep. Yeah. It's like, my network's too close. Yeah, just let me go. just give me a priest. That's more important. Give me a priest.
There's no winners in this. But this whole Luigi thing, there's something fishy about that thing, anyways.
Oh, it's 100%. It smells funky.
Yeah, you got this heart. He was an Ivy Leaguer.
He went to a private high school where he was a valedictorian. The private high school was about $40,000.
Yeah.
Went to UPenn where he was he got like a 3-point something GPA. He got a bachelor's in science something, and then engineer, and then a master's in something in engineering as well. So he had both of those. He was an engineering bro. He was from a very well-off family, and so he decided
with the silencer and the
firearm and the suppressor both supposedly 3D printed.
Yeah.
Which they're going to use that to go after 3D quote unquote ghost guns to make sure their goal is to try and put those on the NFA.
And that's the manifesto in 26 times New Roman. All on you.
Yep. Oh, and he had his manifesto. He had $10,000 in cash, which he says isn't his. He said it was planted on him by the Fed, so he couldn't be a flight, so he would be denied bail. But the thing is, he was brought down like every man was, because there was that one picture where he brought the face mask down so he could flirt with the girl. Had everything. If he didn't do that, it probably would have been impossible to catch him, because that one picture, man.
Yeah, then you go into
there's the reason why they sent Delilah after Samson.
But
because the tale is old.
That was real. If that's the wrong guy, then he did that anyways. And because let's think this through. Let's go to Starbucks, flirt with the lady, put it back on, and then go shoot the guy in the back of the head and think, oh, we're not going to find you. No, you don't do that. It's pretty much you're sneaking up on somebody, and you're not going to go get a grande latte afterwards and hang
he's
out.
A liberal, bro. He is a liberal.
It's kind of like, make this make sense.
There's a lot that doesn't smell right about it, and the fact that he can't even articulate why he did it, and all of these other kinds of things about it. It definitely does smell 100. It doesn't have the hallmarks of other assassinations or hits. It doesn't have the same hallmarks.
And again, the BLM guys can go out there and say, kill them all.
Yep.
And then, like you say, the people that you were shocked on who was talking about it. Jimmy Kimmel making jokes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's like, oh, my staff loves him. They think he's so cute and all the. It's funny. Women were pansexuals and lesbians up until Luigi Mangioni's his photo, and they're all like, "Ooh!" They all discovered what it means to be a woman again, because because us Italians, that's the way to go.
Well, who jokes about stuff like that? I mean,
joking about the guy who, Now, this isn't the first time the left has made a rock star out of a terrorist. Remember Zarnoff? They put him on the cover of Rolling Stone, the younger Zarnoff brother. So they have a way of lionizing the people that who share their causes. So this isn't the first time they've done it.
And that the meme that you saw, Sal Agorist, I put it up about the Kennedy and Luigi. Yeah, Whoopi Goldberg is out there going upset about RFK because he's talking about getting the food better, so you're not, obesity will go down, and she's upset. Oh, you're going to be fat shaming and things like that. You talk about Teen Party politics. You've seen a lot this week on that.
Yeah,
fluoride. We want to get fluoride out of the water, which is a poison. So because you're on the LW team, you're wanting to buy fluoride and shove it in your water, they say.
Just to show them.
Yeah, just to stick it to the man. And then Whoopi's over there. I can't believe he would try to get the food better and have people, look better and healthy and all that. We have to eat more McDonald's. You talk about no one can agree on common sense anymore. And then again with the whole BLM thing walking, if you look up the Union League, the original, the Washington's KKK as they call it, you look up the Union League, that's that. Where they weaponize people using emotion and rhetoric like that to get violent and just kill Whitey type deal. That's exactly what the Union League did back in the late 1860s. It was let's cause fear, havoc, and do whatever you want, burn it down. The same language, 150 years later.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Their playbook never changes. It's just the causes. The playbook never changes. The talking points never change.
And, they're talking about even with just that whole verdict thing. This was injustice. What was it? I can't remember the injustice of black something. I can't wherever the language was on it. Again, if you look up the read again, we don't know the history because it's via victus. Woe to the defeated, the conquered. If you read the stuff that went down in the South on there, I brought this up a couple of times weeks ago. There was a slave that got killed by a white, it wasn't even an owner, just a white dude. And the jury of his peers, I was all white judge, sentenced the white guy to death because, quote, he killed a human being. And then, again, fast forward to now, you got this going on. We have this, they don't look, that's exactly what the Union League was doing. We're not this, the people in the South were a bunch of horrified monsters that did all this to other people when it was actually the people that were pushing them to do it, which you got the same thing. Government up here pushing these guys to get violent, to do this, to go after them. Those are the guys that they should be mad. Not saying to go violent on them, but those are who you should be targeted, not the regular Joe up the street. And they talked about the owners of mansions having to sleep with pistols underneath their pillows because they were afraid. Same thing's probably going up in New York and Boston and things like that. People are now carrying because of all this stuff. Yeah, you shouldn't use fluoride in your toothpaste. No.
Oh, well, thank you for that. Appreciate it. Appreciate the heads up. But the American Dentists Association says I should. So
yeah, they're in on it, obviously. And they will. If you ever say that to the dentist people, they will look at you. You're crazy. And you got an arm coming out of your nose or something.
Yeah,
they're the only ones, only big groups going out there going against the fluoride thing. Money.
Yep, that's it. It's all baked in, and so that's something that RFK is going to have to deal with when he goes in talking about the vaccine schedule, talking about getting just simple things like, hey, you can't put red dye 40 in your food. You can't. Just simple that. People are like, oh, I can't believe you would deny it. It's like, what are you talking about, man? So it'll be interesting for all of that.
Well, I text you up. I sent Rick this message because I saw I was in a lot of traffic, so I played stuff while I'm driving. And Beck was talking about this thing, and he was talking about the was a Taylor or something. I can't remember. Taylor Moden, or that's an offensive lineman for the Panthers. Some ladies out there on one show and said she was happy, gleeful, joyful, celebratory.
Oh, Taylor Lorenz. Lorenz.
And then you had these guys, the BLM guys, yelling, we can kill that and get you do this. And he's talking about, I hate to say this, but they have the right to say it. You're going, dude, err like evil that has no rights. You can't say stuff like that and then go, the absolutists. It's just mind-boggling stupid. And then he goes on and says, we need to obey the Constitution. Yeah, well, the 14th is not the Constitution you go with. 1A says Congress shall not. Doesn't mean anybody can go out and do whatever the heck they want and you can get away with it. No, but these guys, it's a progressive mindset. Back kind of this day, you're a progressive in a sense. You're wanting this. He's also a Lincoln guy. And then what would I say? But then he goes on talking about pop me an aspirin if I start having any pain. Going big pharma. Yep. You gotta divorce this stuff out of your head. Sometimes you want to break away from this stuff, and we want to live free, which is hard and no one really wants to do. Figure it out. What's something alternative to aspirin? Fever flu. What is an alternative to the Robitussin or anything else for cough? Cherry bark, wild cherry bark. Where do you think cherry Robitussin came from? Wild cherry bark. cherry tree is great for coughs. Things like that. You can start breaking one by one. It's not just getting chickens. You gotta do everything across the board. And that's kind of like the treadmill. We just need cows, which is great. I love the milk. You got to expand a little bit further.
Yeah, exactly. That would be completely correct in that regard. So that's the healthcare debate. We could go on for hours about it, but we'll move on. And last week, you had, because Trump's coming into office, we got to speed up the regime changes. And in this case, we had the Syrian regime change take place, and everything's totally fine. Don't worry about it. Everything's good.
Yeah, it's kind of like a little check over here.
Oh yeah.
I mean, don't worry. Trump will get his regime changes like he did during 2019 and his years. His 4 years, he had plenty of regime changes, so they have to get this one. Now, y'all remember this video probably. I guarantee it. Where's it at? 7 countries I got listed. Here it is.
9/11. About 10 days after 9/11, I went through the Pentagon and I saw. By that time, we were bombing in Afghanistan. I said, "Are we still going to war with Iraq?" And he said, "Oh, it's worse than that." He said, he reached over on his desk, he picked up a piece of paper, and he said, I just got this down from upstairs, meaning the Secretary of Defense's office today, and he said, "This is a memo that describes how we're going to take out 7 countries in 5 years, starting with Iraq and then Syria, Lebanon, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and finishing off Iran." I said, "Is it classified?" He said, "Yes, sir." I said, "Well, don't show it to me."
Did anybody catch that last part? Don't show it to me. So he never saw the thing.
Yeah.
Now, not saying it's fake or anything like that, but he goes on for a bunch of videos and he talks about a document that he never saw. And in a sense, it hasn't had, when that was filmed, 10 years ago?
Yeah.
It should have been already done by now.
Yep.
So,
well, yeah.
Now,
getting bogged down in Afghanistan didn't help.
No. For our purposes, since we keep saying, especially me, the act locally, think locally thing and stop worrying about things over across, the obvious answer was it should be like the beginning. Why do we care about Jersey? I don't. No offense to anybody in Jersey. Why do we care about Syria? You're in the United States of America. Why do you care? Again, shouldn't. No. But it's this geopolitical thing, and everyone has to, we have to worry about, we can't do anything on our neighborhood, but we got to worry about what Syria does. In a sense, that's right. Shouldn't give two you-know-whats about Syria. Though, if you do want to watch anything, check out Corbett Report. I reposted on Twitter. He did a thing yesterday, CorbettReport.com, on a brief history of Syrian conflict. Here's a little clip.
Your attention once again, not for the first time and probably not for the last, to the jaw-dropping blog post that was posted up on Council on Foreign Relations website, cfr.org, on August 6th, 2012. It was penned by Ed Hussein, the CFR's adjunct senior fellow for Middle Eastern Studies, and it was entitled Al-Qaeda's Spectre in Syria. And in that article, Hussein wrote, quote, "The Syrian rebels would be immeasurably weaker today without Al-Qaeda in their ranks. By and large, Free Syrian Army battalions are tired, divided, chaotic, and ineffective. Feeling abandoned by the West, rebel forces are increasingly demoralized as they square off with the Assad regime's superior weaponry and professional army. Al-Qaeda fighters, however, may help improve morale. The influx of jihadis brings discipline, religious fervor, battle experience from Iraq, funding from Sunni sympathizers in the Gulf, and most importantly, deadly results. In short, the FSA needs Al-Qaeda now." Please, I hope everyone will follow the link in the show notes to this article and save it to your device and get it out to the four winds. It is still, at least as I record this, up on the Internet Archive. It is also at archive.today. So versions of this have been preserved.
Anyway, so go to that. He's also part of this was, if you look at this, dissolution of Syria and Iraq later on and into ethnically and religiously unique areas, such as in Lebanon, is Israel's primary target on the Eastern Front in the long run, while the dissolution of the military power of those states serve as the primary short-term target. Syria will fall apart in accordance with its ethnic and religious structure into several states such as President Lebanon. So that I have him talking in the background, so I'm trying not. Anyways, did you see that part about we're going to break this thing up? We're trying to decentralize. We can't decentralize, but we'll help other people We'll break up this and a Shiite or whatever, and different ethnicities, things like that.
Yeah, because that worked so well in Iraq.
Yeah, well, isn't that what it's supposed to be say like in these United States? If you got a bunch of communists, they want to live in New York, take it. We want to live how we live in Dixie. Okay. California wants to be California. Fine. It's the same mindset. It's okay for others and force others to do it, but it's not okay if we do it. Mm-hmm. Did you get the screenshot when I said about Hitler talking about that in Mein Kampf? Talking about the states where he spoke Lincoln in Mein Kampf.
Well, I mean, those guys shared similar sentiments. So
the problem is centralization, and then we get into global politics, world government, the master of centralization, which everyone's leaning toward because that's what you want. You want to look at what NATO's doing. You want to look at what DC's doing. You care about these. You don't care about what the state's doing. You don't care about your county. You care about what DJT is going to do, and he's going to take care of the entire continent. Or Bashar Assad is over there in Russia. Russia's going to do this. Assad's going to do that. We're all focused on the one centralized government everywhere we go.
Yeah, that's what it is. One global network. It's all going to be backed by Elon too. Backed by Elon and Starlink.
I remember Elon he's Obama guy, and for Tesla to succeed, he needed government funding.
Yep.
And or was it McClanahan? McClanahan brought up a good point about it, saying if the window's gone so far that Trump 15, 20 years ago would have won the Democratic election that's exactly what he thought. Now it's so far extreme.
No, yeah.
You got the former liberal Democrats is the conservative now.
I love how they're like, oh, they're Republicans. Trump, Tulsi, RFK, and Elon. It's like, they're all Democrats. There is no Republican Party anymore. And that's the problem is you got, you wanted power so much. That's who you gave it to. That's who you collaborated with to get it. So
it's a weird.
Hey man, I hope you enjoy it.
Here's Thomas Massey put a video out on the Syria thing too.
Talk about the timing of this. Remember, Tulsi Gabbard was in Congress, and she and I collaborated on a lot of these efforts to stop our meddling, the U.S. meddling in Syria. And now she's been named as the head of DNI. Well, I think that was the signal to the deep state to go in for the kill and get this over with, because Trump and some of his nominees like Tulsi Gabbard are signaling that we are not going to carry on the policies of Obama and the deep state.
So that's why I've been thinking that we've been talking about that on our show, that it seemed the timing of all of this just seems incredibly fishy. So it is your assessment that this was really an effort here before Trump gets into office to go in and basically put in place this sort of deep state CIA plan in Syria. It's clear as day to you, it seems.
It's clear as day to me. And, whether it was led by the United States or whether we just encouraged it, definitely the timing is not a mistake. When you find a turtle on a fence post, it didn't get there by accident. So, for instance, some of the stronger powers that be, like Israel, they used their military forces to bomb the dozens of jets and helicopters in Syria. Basically, what these terrorists couldn't do, other people in the Middle East hurry up and did here in this last week to make sure that Assad didn't have the typical resources that a government would have to respond to these threats.
And Brandon,
a new constitution, a new government that serves all Syrians. And this process will be determined by the Syrian people themselves. And the United States will do whatever we can to support them, including through humanitarian relief to help restore Syria after more than a decade of war and generations of brutality.
Yeah, I can't hear that without thinking new constitution. Kind of like how they did to the South, new constitution, and they're helping with Reconstruction. It's the same. It's on repeat. Everything just goes on repeat.
Yeah, well, that's life, man. I mean, that's like we said with the previous segment. There's nothing new under the sun. No new talking points. There's just new objectives. That's it. And so you're going to continue to see destabilization because who told you that? I told you that. Steve told you that. They're going to let Trump back in. But guess what? They're going to light the world on fire before he gets in there just to be like, well, do something about it. So, and then that'll take away some of the priority from the economic agenda that he wants to do. And, mission accomplished in that regard. So that's what they want to do. It's really that simple. They want to continue to spread democracy around the world. So
catch
what?
The bomb. That's democracy. So dropping.
Catch the bomb. Okay. Yeah. Sorry. I didn't catch that one. But so I know we have one more story about defunding Planned Parenthood. Do you want to throw that up there? That video.
Specific examples, Planned Parenthood and PBS are in congressional control. Are you planning to axe both of those?
I would like to, that's for sure.
Spending for both of those?
Yeah, we got to build consensus to have the votes to do that. Now, some of this will be done by executive order out of the White House.
Absolutely.
He has a broad authority to do a lot of that.
Yes.
But where Congress is involved, that's where it takes the hard work of legislating and getting everybody on the same page. So there'll be lots of ideas that come out. We don't want to put too many of it out right now, okay? But this is part of that, preparing the playbook to unleash and unroll in January.
Yeah. I mean, that's great because it doesn't even matter about that because there was a story that just dropped today that Texas is suing New York over mailing abortion pills to a person here in Texas. There's a doctor in New York who mailed abortion pills from New York to Texas, and the person had complications. And New York and Texas is like, that's a violation of the law, man. You can't do abortions in any stage here in the state of Texas. So what are you doing? And New York is saying, well, we have shield laws in New York that protect our doctors from doing that. And it's like, it's even if Texas is found in the right, it's going to be really hard for them to enforce it. But still, like Steve, is clapping. At least they're taking some action.
Exactly. That's action. See what happens. Keep doing it. Keep pounding, as they say. Mm-hmm. Here's how you lose. When an unjust law goes down and you do nothing, or if you're this mindset, let me just vote these bums out, get the new bums in, and beg them and hope that they will do what they're supposed to do. That's not
garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah, that's not the mindset of a free society. That's a mindset of a pretty much a slave going, please, master, please don't do it. Please stick to your, what you're supposed to do. Yeah, good luck. If that's the mindset you're in, like, hey, we're putting Trump in, we hope he's going to do it. That's a terrible mindset. That's a losing mindset in a sense.
Because he's already waved the flag on that, guys. He already has, so he's not going to be your savior.
You gotta get active.
Yep. Yeah, that's the only solution, man. That's the only solution. And get out of it and work the ground game at your state level to ensure that you don't get the doors blown off of you when they actually put it to a vote in your state.
Well, like Rick just said, what Texas just do. Now imagine if you got some good Catholics in all the states. Get in all the states we're in, Catholics in each state, get together, get a movement to take over, run, and get involved in the state house, wherever you're at. And something like this comes down. You know how easy that would be? You know what? Yeah, we're suing New York for sending that stuff in. Oh, you want to try it again? We're suing it again. Oh, we're standing the ground here. Here's the line saying you cannot cross this border with that nonsense, right? And you keep doing that. That's you want to fix this thing. Federalism is the only way. Now, sure, yeah, obviously pray, hope, and don't worry, and all that. Yes, there was that one movie. Was it Even a Miracle Needs a Hand? I can't remember it was a Christmas movie, I think it was. It was a little mouse. He was trying to. It was an old 1980s cartoon movie. The Night Before Christmas, I think it was. But he talks like Even a Miracle Needs a Hand. You got to do something too to go with. You just can't, like Lords, you just don't show up. You actually have to, have some faith, pray, penance. It's not just like go over there and hit the Coke button and then it pops out. Oh, you're done. There's a little bit more to it. It's kind of like some priests talk about that in some sermons about prayer. Prayer is not here. let me hit that button and the answer should shoot out.
Yeah.
Or that great line from Bruce Almighty, as I've been praying for our family to get better, or patience. And Freeman's character tells her, sometimes he presents opportunities for you to grow in it, to be able to grow, to work for it so you can become that. Instead of we just want to be on our lazy boy or lace cross and everything just fed to us. Same thing here. If you think just clicking a vote magically solves the problems, pass the hookah pipe because you're smoking something greater than what they're doing in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah.
Get involved. You got to be.
Exactly.
If Catholics got involved and took over these places and had some brains to go with it and a spine, you'd end all this stuff tomorrow. You'd have a fight. Sure, you'd have a fight, but then you could fight against it. Because all the stuff's on our side. It's all on what we're talking about. We have it's the problem is the scallywags and the carpetbaggers that got involved in it, and it's still reminiscent from those days, the destruction of the Republic of the Republics. And now you can get that back if you want it.
Yeah, that's the question: is do you really want it enough? That really is the question. And are you willing to put the work in for it? A lot of Americans aren't. They just really aren't. I mean, football starts tomorrow, so we got college football and then the NFL. So, I mean, and then you got Christmas in a week. So why would you want to do any of that kind of stuff? So,
but if it's our guys, even if it's a small minority, I'm not a big Sam Adams fan, but his line of "don't take a majority, this takes a small minority hell bent on setting brush fires in people's minds." It's really all it is.
That's it. You just need to focus on the right things and using platforms to do so. And we have people that don't do that anyway, because those people with the platforms to set the brush fires are reinforcing that national narrative. So
I don't dislike Professor Fazer at all. He's great. I love his books. But imagine him and other guys start talking about this decentralization, getting involved, getting federalism in the sense. Not a perfect situation, but that's the game plan. That's the playbook we have. Everyone wants a monarch. You want a monarch? Great. That it ain't happening. We have an elected one, but here's the blueprint to win right here in this particular where we're at now in the game we're playing. Use it. If not, enjoy losing. Stop complaining while you do it.
Yeah, you don't complain. Just shut up and enjoy the ride. In that regard. So yeah, I'm gonna call it after that. Looks like we got through all our topics tonight. I'll go first for our cry room and our saint of the week. Saint of the week is the French for I like the way Notre Dame has been rebuilt. I think it looks beautiful. It was because everybody's like, oh, it looks like this. Guys, do you know how bad it could have been? Yeah, I don't like the table either. Guess what? That table can easily be removed. The table can easily be renewed. The table altar that can go. They preserved the high altar. The place looks glorious. It's been restored to its former glory. Yeah, did they dress up like Uno cards? I get it, but that's just the modern church, guys. You know what I mean? It is what it is. But the fact that Notre Dame was rebuilt, it looks beautiful, and the French did what they needed to do to do that. They could have easily been influenced, and like you people don't remember, they wanted to make like a pool, or they wanted to make like a glass, they wanted to make the ceiling all out of glass and the spire out of glass, all this modernist garbage. But nope, they did it the way it was supposed to be done. They rebuilt it with the respect that it deserved to be rebuilt with. So the French get a hat off, and they're my saint of the week for the rebuilding of Notre Dame. It looks glorious. And I watched a lot of the reopening ceremony. It was pretty, it was really nice to watch there. And I called this out in real time. The Bishop Dolan or Cardinal Dolan, is it Cardinal Dolan in New York? When Trump was there, when he walked by Trump, he gave Trump the salute. So the public acknowledgement from Dolan to Trump there. Just think about that. 4 years ago, the church would have been like, nope, don't acknowledge him. Don't acknowledge Trump. He's evil. But the fact that they're openly acknowledging him there was pretty neat.
Well, they had a good time at the dinner. They had a good time together at the dinner, it looked like.
Oh, yeah. They're all big club. You're not in it. I get it. Cry room is Nancy Pelosi. You shouldn't be 84 years old, traveling abroad, and then fall and break your hip, because you're probably not going to be able to get back to the U.S. There's a high chance you might die, and there is a high chance that she is never coming back to the United States. And once again, because you guys are very lucky, we actually have film. We have the video of her falling.
Is Trump commentating?
The only one getting hammered this time.
Tragic, absolutely tragic. So it's, yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know it had video or music that we're gonna get copyrighted on, but
Probably.
Good catch on that. But no, it wasn't 15. It was, I think it's 15 seconds before they copyright you, but you were able to get it before them. But yes, that was very tragic of Nancy Pelosi. Once again, so she's probably going to stay in Luxembourg, maybe in Italy, but she can't make it home. I don't think she can. Even if flew her on a C-130, I don't think he could. So yeah, that's a cry room for having an 89-year-old Joe Biden and a 105-year-old Nancy Pelosi. Dianne Feinstein died in office this year. I think everybody forgot that, either this year or last year.
Would you see McConnell?
Yeah, McConnell fell down. The guy looks like he's like an NFL player with one of those helmet condoms on, like walking around. It's pathetic. And I don't like term limits either, but at least term limits prevent this. Maybe garbage in, garbage out, but at the same time, it's not like.
Well, it takes the power away. Yeah, it takes them. You can't become a millionaire in 2 terms.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, maybe you can, but you can't be there for 20 terms.
Yeah, you can't die in office unless they elect you when you're 75, which could happen, but that's an extraordinary case.
Yeah, those guys are millionaires just becoming away. Which that's what you want people that. Franklin talked about that with power and greed. Power and money will drive the people that you do not want. And he said they will be your rulers. There you go. It wasn't hard to find. It wasn't Nostradamus. My saying of the week, I'll go with the hug incident, the hug video. I liked it.
Dad, wait up, Dad. Dad.
Steve doesn't copyright his own music though. Let's just get
He's talking over it. I don't know. This was off YouTube probably, so it's not. I don't think it's bad.
Spirit lead.
Oh, you're gonna get copyrighted for that,
sucker. Somebody's singing.
By the way, I hate that song. Every time I see it, but it is wholesome. Dads matter.
I don't know what song that is.
It's a stupid one that's on Instagram all the time. It just, I hate it.
By the way,
anyway,
to your Notre Dame
that doesn't
point,
matter because dads matter, and that's a great video.
To your Notre Dame point, nobody would know what the heck that happened if it weren't for the internet. Yeah, I'm in North Carolina.
Oh yeah, about Notre Dame. Yeah.
I'm in North Carolina. We're busy throughout the day. I did not see it till late, and if it weren't for a tweeter, I would have never known that happened. So again, kind of like we look for stuff to get upset about and mad about. Any other time period in world history, you would not have had a clue that went down there. You would just heard, hey, you got to restore that a master. Great. No one's going to say, hey, what vestments do they look at and make fun of it for the next 12, 38, 48 hours.
15 videos about it. Yeah.
It's like they came out with they named all the they put a thing up with all the Cardinals and who they are and what they vote for and all this. I told a priest that said to me, oh, great. That just gave content creators 100 videos to make on it. Because now they're talking about
Christmas.
just instead of focus here, we're going to focus on all this stuff. Again, I made a couple jokes of friends here about the vestments, like, hey, you're going to get a father investment like that. But outside of that, again, what are you going to do about it? Get mad? Okay, lose your peace over that. It's over. It's done with. You can't get back. You can't find Marty and Doc and get into DeLorean and go back in time and fix it. It happened. Forget about it. It was just move on. Read something joyful or something. My cry room. I know. I just got done talking about worry about your local. I'm going with New York. Andy Holcomb, who wants to give everybody $500. Hey, you got
like me, please. Like me, please.
This strain on your wallet. Somebody give you guys $500 and read the comments. I'm gonna pay for a hot dog here.
Yeah, congratulations. You just made things more expensive.
Yeah.
People are so dumb. Martyrs Walk update. Checks went out last weekend, this weekend, that the fund has been dispersing for families in need for things like Christmas presents and furnaces and all that kind of stuff. And there's a Martyrs Walk coming up in March, the end of March. So we'll be starting to do the application process and all that stuff probably by the end of January, mid-January.
Yeah, update in the mountains. FEMA has now opened up some trailers to people, so there's a whole compounds, just like you saw probably in Katrina.
Just like Alex Jones said.
Yeah, well, the trailers are all lined up, and so they got 18 months. Obviously, you have to sign up for, so it doesn't get everybody, but no rent for 18 months. Probably because they were getting so much heat.
They're getting dragged for that.
Yeah. So they did open up that this week. It's people are not everyone's in it, so there's plenty of people still intense. It's been where I'm at mid-20s all week at night, so mountains 0 to single digits in the mountains. Jason's told me that there's somebody from the channel that reached out to him that runs some kind of toy company, and they wanted to donate like $20,000 worth of toys for kids. So I don't know who you are, but that's awesome. Thanks for that. And Jason's taking care of all that, but he just told me, he goes, yeah, somebody saw the show on the channel and they want to reach down, and there's some toy company that's going to try to do that for the kids. Fantastic.
Yep.
But yeah, it's going to take years and years for anything to get done. If you look up, there's a couple places on X that keep up with it. It's still a disaster area. In a sense, again, there's a lot of guys that know how to get through, live that lifestyle. So it's not terrible, but the extreme people like old age, young kids, it's being hard on them. Did you know speaking of just hunger and things like that, was it President Davis didn't mandate it, but he made sure that people, hey, you can eat rats because the food was all gone. They unilaterally came out and destroyed everything. People were starving, didn't eat food for days and days. So he told people, you can eat the rats, grill them so that you can have some kind of protein out of it. So if anybody ever going to talk about how bad it can get down here, that's how bad it got down there, and people were able to survive. There are a lot of people that died, but I don't know. The book is interesting.
So there's your survival note for this week, folks.
Yes,
just in case. But yeah, take that as you enter the holidays. All right, folks, that's it for this episode of News from the Pew. Please like, subscribe, and share the News from the Pew. We will talk to you all next Friday. God bless, and Viva Cristo Rey.